Hi, Jack Canfield here with another segment of Talking About Success, and you are David Koop, and he's my guest today, and he's a really very interesting guy. I'm really glad to have you on the show today. You wrote a book with a very interesting title, Cancer, It's a Good Thing I Got It,
Yep.
The Life Story of a Very Lucky Man.
Yeah,
So, I mean, most people go like, wait a second, it's a good thing I got it. Let's unpack that title a little bit. Talk about that.
Well, it definitely knocks some people off their heels, but it's actually true. And in the book, they're going to find a half a dozen reasons. But the first and most important one is when you have the kind of cancer I have, and that's osteosarcoma, a form of bone cancer that was growing on my spine. They do a full body bone scan and a full body tissue scan to see if it has metastasized anywhere else. When they did that, they found a pulmonary embolism waiting to break loose. So they put me into the hospital. They did an operation, put a filter in my chest. 9 days later, that embolism broke loose and the filter caught it. And if the people don't realize what a pulmonary embolism, that's when you turn to your wife and say, honey, I don't feel, and you don't finish the sentence, you just fall over dead. So had I not had the cancer, I wouldn't be here today. So it really is a good thing I got cancer.
It really is a good thing. That's very good. It's very good. And I know it's brought other challenges to your life, and there's both wake-up calls and things that you've had to cope with. Give us another reason why it was a good thing in your life.
Well, it allowed me to sharpen the pencil. I've always been a carpe diem kind of guy. When my son Christopher was born, I took time off of my job and was Mr. Mom. But when the cancer came along, I dropped everything, put all my affairs in order, and spent all my time raising my son, taking every opportunity to teach him how to be a good man in society.
Mm-hmm. And I know you took him on a trip recently. Talk about that.
Yeah, we did. We got a chance. He's heard. Back in the 80s, I was a professional speaker, and I had a chance to travel all over the United States and around the world. And he's heard my stories. You know, my favorite city's Barcelona, and I did this in London and did that in Rome. And he said, when do I get to go, Dad? So this summer, we actually took a couple weeks, a little over 2 weeks, and visited. And he just had the trip of a lifetime, and so did Dad.
That's cool. So part of what happened is it really made you reevaluate where you were putting some of your time, and you said, hey, I want to spend time with my kid, and that was important. Anything else about that? Because I know that the book's about more than just cancer, but I want to get there in a minute. But anything else that you would say was a good...
Yeah, you know, and that's one of the things, the title gets people's attention, but it leads some people astray, because it's not just a book for people with a major medical issue.
Right.
Most of my readers have said it best, better than I have. They say that the foundation of the book that they read, that I wrote, is to stick to their core values, live life at 100%, surround themselves with good people, and love those people that are close to them. So it really speaks to a much broader audience. There are helpful tips in there for people who are dealing with a major medical issue and for their caregivers, because people just don't know what to say or what not to say. They're afraid they're going to say something wrong. So there's all those good tips in there, but there's so much more.
It's really a book about what's life all about and how to create a life that really is significant, it matters, it's fulfilling, and all of that good stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, very good. So if people want to get a hold of your book, where do they go?
It is available on all the normal places, Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble and iBook and the Kindle and the Nook. And if you want to learn more about me and my story, you can go to my website, which is www.somedaygroup.com. That's SOMEDAYGROUP.com.
Now wait, before we go, because I don't want to end with that, talk about the Someday Group. I love the title of this and why you got there, and I think it's important for people to hear it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. All of us have said it, and we hear other people saying, someday I'm going to do this, or someday I'm going to do that. But we wait. We all wait. And what the Someday Group teaches people is today is someday. Because none of us knows when our life is going to end. We may not make it to work tomorrow. And what I try to teach in my presentations, when I speak, and the message in the book, is don't wait for your own near-death experience or major medical thing. Start living the life you want today.
Today is someday. You know, one of my great mentors was a man named W. Clement Stone. He was a self-made multimillionaire worth $600 million. He used to give people these round wooden coins, and it just said "to it" on it. And everyone would say, well, what's this? He says, let's around to it. Because you've been saying, whenever I get around to it, I'm going to do that. So now you have around to it, go do it. So someday is today.
That's exactly right.
That's right. Okay, so somedaygroup.com. Really great. I'm so glad to have met you and had you here. I really appreciate your message. It's an important one. So we'll see you next time. Until then, have a great life.